In case I haven't met you yet, I'm Cindy Harvey. I'm the host of the group. I'm a career strategy coach, and I'm also the creator of a couple of career transition programs. But that's just a little bit about me. And today I am in here to answer a question. As you hopefully know, you can post any questions that you have about your job search, about your career, about choosing the right fit for the next phase of your career, any question, about what's happening in your professional life, you can post it here in the group, and I will often jump on video and answer the question for you personally and share it with everyone else so everyone can learn. So that's what I'm up to today, and I've got a couple of questions that were posted a few weeks back. And the one I'm doing today, I'm just pulling it up in front of me so I can read it. It is from my friend, Miss Dee Maria. What's up, Dee Maria? Looking forward to reconnecting with you soon too. And Dee Maria's question is a really interesting one. I think a good one. So the question is, how can the older job seeker compete with new grads? Great question, Dee Maria. So I've got 3 points here that I want to mention and give you some, hopefully some different ways of thinking about this issue that you might be bumping into. So the first thing that I want to offer for you to think about around this topic is, when we thinking about new grads, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that a company might find attractive about a younger, quote unquote, employee or a new grad? That's the first thing that I want you to really stop and think about. And some of the things that come to my mind is innovation, just energy, innovation, fresh ideas. They're not stuck in a rut. Any of those kinds of things, I think a company that is trying to grow and innovate and shift and change, which most organizations are, a company would find that really attractive. And so it's an influx of fresh energy and fresh ideas. And what can happen to us a lot of times as we get stuck in a rut is we don't bring that kind of innovation and those kinds of fresh ideas and different ways of thinking to our day-to-day work, to our teams, to our department, or to the company overall. And so why wouldn't the company want to bring in that kind of new talent? And so ask yourself, are you demonstrating those types of qualities or thinking about the company that you're working with or where you want to go next? Are you demonstrating the type of qualities that they find attractive? And if not, ask yourself why not? And are you willing to make some shifts in the way that you're thinking about your work so that you can innovate and you can, bring something to the job that's different and not get in that year after year after year rut that a lot of us can easily fall into, that comfort zone. How can you break the comfort zone of the work that you're doing and that has become habit and routine? So that's the very first thing that I would encourage you to think about for yourself, Dee Maria, is, what are you doing that's different? And if maybe you aren't, and ask yourself, have you fallen into a bit of a comfort zone? Have you adopted some habits that have just become normal for you? And if you have, what can you do to shift that? And I don't think about it as competing. I just think about it as, being able to do what a company finds attractive. And so that's the very first thing that I would really encourage you to think about and ask yourself is, what does the company find attractive, and are you bringing that to the table? Okay, point one. Second point that I wanted to offer you to think about as well around this idea of being experienced is, how do you feel about your experience? And what I mean by that, what I want you to ask yourself is, do you believe that the level of experience that you have is an asset? Or do you see it as a strike against you? And this is super, super important. Reason being is that whatever you believe about it is what I'm going to believe about it. If you see it, and maybe for yourself, Dee Maria, you might have some of these thoughts, maybe not even consciously, in the back of your mind, and this is maybe where the question is coming from. But you may have some thoughts that it's not valuable, and if again, if you believe that it's not valuable, the way that you present yourself, the way you brand yourself on your resume, when you go in for an interview, that's going to come across. And if you don't believe that the experience that you've built up over the last however many years is worth something, it's valuable, it's important, and you've done some really cool things that can help you in the next role in the next company, if you don't believe that, then I'm not going to see it and I'm not going to believe it either. So I think it's a really important sanity check for you to do for yourself, or anyone who might be feeling this way, or asking yourself, this question is, what do you believe? What do you believe about your level of experience? Do you see value in it? Do you see it as an asset? And how do you describe and explain that, to the next employer, even to your colleagues and your friends and your family? How do you talk about it? Do you talk about it in a way that, I'm dried up and I'm washed up? Or do you talk about it from the perspective of, I've done these 5 amazing things over the course of my 15-year career, and here's why it's important, and here's why it added value to those jobs or those companies that I was in. So it's really about getting clear about the value that you add, the accomplishments that you've had over the past however many years of your career and your professional life, and switching that from it being a strike to being something that's valuable and attractive as well. So that's my second point, is how do you feel about your experience? The third point that I'll say, just double checking my notes here, is the third point that I'll say is that in some cases, you may not be the person that the company's looking for. That's going to happen sometimes. Every job isn't for you, and you are not for every job. You may not fit the profile. You may not match what the company's looking for, and that's the company's responsibility and right to make that decision. And that's okay. That's okay. They may not be looking for someone with your level of experience. In the next job, they may not be looking for a new grad. They may be looking for your exact level of experience. So if you bump into that kind of situation, maybe go back to those first 2 questions that I suggested and sanity check yourself on those things, and keep it moving. There's thousands of companies out there. There's hundreds of thousands of jobs out there. One company, one experience, one job does not make a trend. Keep it moving. On to the next. If this one isn't it, then on to the next. All right. So hopefully that gives you some new ways of thinking about it. And really, I want you to be able to see your experience as valuable, as an asset. This all boils down to brand and mindset. Those are the 2 big kind of topics that we're talking about here: how you think about it and how you position it, which are mindset and brand. So I'm going to leave it there. And if you have any further questions, pop them into the comments below. I'll shoot back in probably a bit later today and see what questions or comments you may have. And let me know what you think. Do you agree with what I mentioned? Do you not agree? Let's have some conversation about it, and let me know what you think. All right, have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.